listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the Pro Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're listening to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. Coming into our third segment of the show, of course, is part of the Pelican Preseason Trifecta show that we have. And we're covering and recapping all three of the Pelicans' first preseason game. This is game number 3 as they went to New York to take on the New York Knicks. Turned out to be a more entertaining game than probably the first 2 previous games in this one. And the Pelicans barely went down 106-100 in this game. We look at some of the statistics. In the full statistics, the Pelicans did shoot a better percentage both from the field goal area and the three-point line in this one. It just wasn't enough to get the job done, despite the fact that the Knicks had more attempts. Pelicans 36 out of 94 for 38%. The Knicks 39 out of 109 for 36% in this game. Of course, the Pelicans were 12 of 42 from downtown versus the Knicks 7 of 31 from downtown. Of course, the Pelicans shot 28.6, might as well say 29% from the three-point line in this one. Now, of course, like I've said before in the previous segment, we talk about the fact there's 2 important things the Pelicans got to do if they're going to play at this pace. Now, of course, I'm going to give them a waiver to a degree because when you're pushing the pace and when you consider pace of play, the Pelicans are one of the fastest teams, if not the fastest. The Pelicans are a team that push the pace and they move the ball, which means they're prone to have situations where they're going to turn the ball over because of the fact that they are moving the ball faster than most teams. So they're prone to have more mistakes than most teams. So let's just remember that. With that being said, I'm not giving them an excuse, but what I'm saying is that we have to remember that. So let's say you have most teams say we got to keep our turnovers down to 12 or 13 a game, like I would say a San Antonio Spurs disciplined team would do with a disciplined coach. But if you're Gentry, you have a wide open system, that ratio might go up to like 15 or 16. The Pelicans can win games turning the ball over with 15 or 16 turnovers. I would say that's about a threshold. Some people would argue with me and say it needs to be maybe a turnover less or more, but I would say it's right around that fine line. Outside of that, the free throws is the other thing I talk about. If you're going to play that fast, you have to be able to convert free throws when you get to the line, because you're going to get a lot of attempts at the free throw line because of that pace of play, because most of the time they're just going to foul you if they can't keep up with you. So you look at the free throws in this one. The Pelicans shot 16 of 30 at the free throw line. That's 53%. That sucks. That's damn near half the free throws you shot. Think about that. 50-something% from the free. That's just awful as a team, period. You got to get that up. Look what the Knicks shot in this game. 21 of 27. Now, imagine if the Pelicans would have converted at least 10% more of those field goals, or 15%, or out of half the field goals, 15, 14 something free throws that you miss. Imagine if the team would have hit at least 7 more free throws from the line. They would have beat the Knicks. They'd have beat them 107 and 106. Now, that's woulda, coulda, shoulda. I understand that. But listen, I'm just merely documenting to you in a commonsensical way that if you look at the statistics from the free throw line, you could have said the Pelicans could have won the game alone if they would have converted a higher rate. But that is the problem. What I'm saying, you have to hit free throws, and that was a problem with the team last year. Was they were out of some of these games because they couldn't hit free throws. Free. Anyway, total rebounds: Knicks 61 to the Pels 59 in this one. Assists, the Pelicans lost the assist battle again, 22 of 19. They haven't won the assist war in either one of these losses, and that's the reason why they're losing a lot of these games, because they're not circulating the ball as the system dictates, as Coach Gentry will tell you momentarily. Now, steals, the Pelicans 11 to 10 on the steals, 7 to 5 on the blocks versus the Knicks. Turnovers, 23 turnovers to 16. That's way too many turnovers. And they gave up 29 points on those turnovers. But think about this. They gained 15, but imagine about those freaking free throws. Remember, they only lost by 6, and you missed 14 free throws. So this is not a hard game to figure out right here. And then, of course, points in the paint. The Pelicans, each one of these losses, they have a commonalities. They lose in the paint war big, 52 to 36. In this game against the Knicks, they lost the paint war. They lost the turnover war. And, of course, they're not hitting their free throws at a high percentage. So couple those things together and understand why the Pelicans keep coming up goose egg in the winning column. Let's hear what Coach Gentry and his coaching way of telling you why the team is 0-3 in the preseason.
We didn't have ball movement. I think we ended up with 19 assists. That's not who we are at all, We turned the ball over 23 times. They had them down for 29. We had them down for 32 points. So obviously you can't give up a third of the points that the team scored on turnovers. So I just thought we tried to do too much. We didn't have good ball movement. Our defense was a little bit suspect as far as guarding the ball, and we talked about being in a position tonight where everybody was live and they were going to be taking the ball to the basket, and which didn't play very good.
Coach, in preseason games, do things like field goal percentage and free throw percentage concern you at all?
Well, the free throws don't, because we're a good free throw shooting team. We just, I think that was a lack of concentration really tonight. But we'll be okay in that department. The turnovers, well, they really do concern me, because I just think, that become habit, and we want to not have that habit at all. So we got to have the ball movement, and we got to have shots at the basket. The thing that was the most bothersome tonight about the turnovers, that most of them were live turnovers, and you just can't defend live turnovers in this league. You turn it over where they're running at you. The floor is not balanced defensively. You either, back and you don't have, and they have numbers against you. So that's something that concerns me, that we've got to get taken care of right away.
Coach, you got your first look at Mirotic and Miller tonight. What did you see in their play?
Oh, I thought Darius played well, and I thought Nico had his moments and stuff. Those guys, for Nico, he hadn't played in a game, this season, and he hadn't played in a game in a while. So, he's got to get his timing back and everything. I'm not really concerned about him, because I think he'll be fine. I think we, collectively we got to get our shot selection has to improve somewhat. I thought we took some tough shots that we didn't need to take. If we continue the ball movement, I just didn't think we did a very good job of moving the ball, of cutting, relocating, and things like that. That we've done a pretty good job the first two games.
The turnovers, is that a symptom at all of how fast you guys want to play, or is that just kind of?
No, that's it doesn't have anything to do with that. I could see if it was, maybe one, at the most two, but more than you would normally have. But when you get into the 20s, that has nothing to do with the style of play. That has more to do with the decision making and the concentration.
That's Coach Gentry, man, breaking it down in a very coach-like way about what's going on with this team. And he's not happy about the fact that his team is 0-3 in the preseason. Of course, we got a few more games left to play, but you heard the reporter talk about the return of Nikola Mirotic. Not only just Nikola Mirotic returned in this one, but they also had they got Darius Miller back. Nico, of course, he played extended minutes in this. He played 37 minutes in this game. He was 7 of 20 from the field, 2 of 11 from downtown, 3 of 5 from the free throw line for 19 points, 12 rebounds in the game. Nico was what Nico is, a high-energy shooting player that gives you his all. And I hope the Pelicans lock this guy down. Of course, he's making like $12 to $14 million a year. Hope the Pelicans could kind of sign him to a multi-year deal where his numbers he makes the right around that $10 million mark, maybe $9-10 million, for the next 2 or 3 years, because he's the perfect complementary player to have in this wide open system when you have Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, those guys drawing double teams. He's spectacular in this one. Anthony Davis had 15 points in this matchup. He was tied with another player by the name of Darius Miller, who coming back 24 minutes, 5 of 10 shooting from Darius, 5 of 7 from downtown from Darius. Darius lit it up. And a lot of people don't see Darius Miller coming. This year, he really worked on a lot of stuff last year, which he always could shoot the ball. But Darius probably was his defense. His defense was an issue. He really took on the challenge and really come to this year. And he has, if you look at all of the 3D guys, all of the wing guys, the only reason why we overlook Darius Miller, and that's wrong for us to overlook Darius Miller, because he knows the system. We're familiar with Darius. But the thing about we know Darius is not a defensive guy, but he's working on that. So wouldn't it be a surprise if Darius Miller, who had 15 points in this game, actually come to play and do something? Of course, a lot of people thinking Troy Williams, but it's open competition, between Kenrick Williams, Garland Green, Darius Miller, Solomon Hill. It's a bunch of guys, and they're all looking to take that position, that wing position, into their own. Outside of those terrific players, the 2 returning Pelicans, and Anthony Davis, close. Drew Holiday had 12 points in this game in 20 minutes, 5 of 9 shooting from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. In this matchup, had 4 turnovers. Both him and Anthony Davis got to work on that. Elfrid Payton, 9 points. He was 4 of 8 shooting in 24 minutes, 0 for 1 from downtown, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. And that's a part of what I keep yelling about the free throws. They got to do a better job job at the free throws. 9 points for Elfrid Payton, 13 points for E'Twaun Morris. He got going in this matchup. 13 points for E'Twaun Moore. 24 minutes of play, 5 of 10. It was 3 of 6 from downtown in this game for E'Twaun Moore. Other scores, Sheik Diallo had 4 points in 28 minutes. 8 points for Solomon Hill as he was 2 of 2 from the field. 3 from Frank Jackson in 15 minutes. Frank struggled mightily in this one. 1 of 7, 0 for 3 from downtown, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. You talking about a crappy game Frank Jackson had in this one. And of course, Kenrich Williams played just 6 minutes, 2 points. Now, of course, they had a lot of Pelicans out on this one. That was DMP, lower back injury by Julius Randle. He didn't play in this one. He was kind of recuperating. Of course, we know about Jahlil Okafor sprained ankle. It was the coach's decision that DMP. Brandon McCoy, I would have loved to see him get more minutes. Alexis Jenkins still won't play because of that quadriceps injury. And of course, Morris, point guard Darius Morris, 6'4", 195-pound player, 4-year man out of Michigan, former 41st pick by the Los Angeles Lakers, second-round pick. Pelicans gave him a few minutes in this game. You had they DMP'd both Darius Morris, Jared Jack, and Trayvon Blewett in this game. DMP'd them. They did not play. Looking on the other side of the fence, the Knicks' top people, well, of course, Tim Hardaway. He had a very good game in this one through 26 minutes, 6 of 18 from the field, 3 of 8 from downtown, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. He finished with 21 points. Enes Kanter, the energy effort guy, through 28 minutes. Enes had 20 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists in this game. Enes Kanter, just showed them how to do it. Then you look at the rest of the statistics. Lance Thomas, former Pelican. Lance Thomas had 13 points in 23 minutes. Kevin Knox, the first-round draft pick this year, played 34 minutes. He was 6 of 19, 0 of 5 from downtown, and finished the game with 12 points, 10 rebounds. He is going to be special for him at the wing position. Energy player altogether off the bench. Noah Vonleh came in. He had 10 points, 11 rebounds in 13 minutes for the Knicks as they were able to capsize the Pelicans 106-100. And it's this one, I could basically tell you, you know what? The Pelicans beat themselves in this one. You have all these ridiculous turnovers. You hit half of your free throws, and you barely beat this team. You barely lost to this team by 6. So I would say in this one, the Pelicans really did it to themselves. They helped the Knicks beat them in this game. And then what's very apparent is they're trying to figure out how to win as a team. But it don't do you no good to play fast if you committing a bunch of mistakes. Think about that. I'm trying to write fast. I'm trying to write a paragraph, but I have a million typos. Am I really getting anywhere that way? Think about that. If you're gonna play fast, you have to be disciplined. You have to understand what to do, when to do it. And the Pelicans, for the most part, if they're gonna play that way, you gotta play as with minimal mistakes as possible, and you have to convert the free throws. Hence the term free. That'll do it for the Pelican post-game report, episode 239 today, the trifecta edition. Thank you guys for listening, both new and established listener. As always, if you enjoy the show, go on our Patreon page and make a contribution. Join our social media pages. All that's in the links in the description below. And as always, from us from the Pelican Post Game Report, thank y'all for joining us. Peace.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? It's Big Q talking at you from the PRO Media Network, letting you know that we're attempting to make things a lot simpler on our listeners and viewers of our mini podcast. So as a result, we're leasing down a lot of our shows to have their own channels for your convenience. Starting soon, shows like Ring King Box, LSU's Tough Tiger Talk, the Pelican Postgame Report will all have their own individual YouTube channels. So thank you for working with us during this process. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your donations and support for our platform as we continue to improve moving forward. Peace.
Vapor DNA is the absolute premier online vape store, offering an industry-leading selection of e-cigarettes, e-liquids, and accessories. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service team is always ready to provide the best customer service experience to ensure you find what you're looking for. We guarantee our vaping gear shop products to be 100% genuine and the lowest price. We are so confident in our selection and our customer service. We will offer our customers a 45-day refund policy. That's right, a 45-day refund policy. We are proud of this offer for 3 simple reasons: quality, selection, and price. And that is the reason you should choose Vapor DNA for all your vaping needs. That's www.vapordna.com. Again, that's www.vapordna.com.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, poshlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to theposhlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFD style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.